Glenn Sheaffer from Healthy Environments is back with me, and we know that you've been with Superior for a little over a year now.
That's correct,
so it's been a great partnership. But let's start today with a little bit what makes you different than other companies that do the same thing that you guys do.
The challenge is anybody with a vacuum can be a duct cleaning company or a person that cleans the ductwork. There are no rules or licensing that's governing it right now. There will be shortly or soon. But we're very proactive in that. Healthy Environments understands the importance of doing it right the first time. We're part of Superior Heating and Air. Once we became a part of them, they have a 112% money back guarantee. And for a company to go out on a limb like that and offer that kind of a claim, it has to do something right. And we understand that the HVAC system is the major health system of your home. It's got to stay healthy. And we're responsible for making sure that it is that way, and we want to make sure we do it right.
I find it fascinating that it's not regulated yet. I mean, I guess just as a layperson, I would have thought that that was already in place.
No, but we're very proactive in that because we're certified by the NADCA, which is the National Air Duct Cleaners Association, and we follow all the rules and procedures governed by them. Also by the EPA, you know, there are chemicals that you can and can't use in a duct system. And there are certain procedures that you need to follow. I mean, we're dealing with someone's health.
Right.
You know, the air conditioning system is like I mentioned, the healthiest system. You know, it's responsible for the environment in your home. And in order to do that right, you should have somebody that is trained and understands the importance of making sure it stays that way.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Thanks.
So we know that you offer lots of different solutions and you work with both homeowners and property managers. So what are the things that you're seeing right now that are most common coming up? What are the questions? What are the issues that they're seing?
Well, a lot of people are turning their systems on for the first time, their air conditioning system, and they notice musty smells and things like that. That's a good sign that they may want to have it serviced.
Okay.
Or at least looked at, you know, to make sure the air handler itself is taking care of keeping the air healthy and clean. A lot of mold develops and bacteria develops in the system itself. So, you know, if it's been sitting for 3 or 4 months, and then you turn it back on, you know, the pollutants in the water that has been sitting there, you know, may start to develop, you know, things like that.
So you mentioned mold. Obviously, that's a big thing that that's a scary word for people. They don't want to think that they have mold in their house.
Yes.
And oftentimes they don't know that they have mold in their house because they can't smell it or they can't see it. So what are some things they should be looking for, and how often should they be having that kind of looked at to see if that's growing there?
You know, when you go into a house and you notice like maybe an earthy smell, mold has a little bit of a sweet smell to it. If you go into your house and you notice odors that are a little bit unusual, you know, for your home, every home has a little bit of a scent to it. But you know, if you notice things like that, they always say if it smells of mold, it probably is mold, and there may be mold somewhere. And you know, there are you know, molds everywhere. You can't help it, but you don't want it in your home.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly we don't want it in our home. So if they do have it, what are the solutions that you offer for that?
Well, we are certified by the IICRC in mold remediation. We're also part of the NADCA, and we're also certified in water damage. And what would water damage have to do with it? Well, you know, water is a food source for mold.
Right.
You know, we try to make sure that we have testing that we can do. We can do physical samples. We can do air samples, and we can inspect. We have cameras that go into the ductwork to find out if there are things that we can't see that are in the ductwork that people may be in need of addressing.
Okay, and so you also said that you do air quality testing. So what does that tell you if you go into the house and you do that test?
Oh gosh, it tells you a lot of things. It tells you about, you know, it's interesting. The number one thing in ductwork is human skin. So if you're moving into an apartment or a home or something, and you don't want other people's problems in your home, it might be a good idea.
You don't want somebody else's skin floating around the air.
No. You may want to have Healthy Environments take care of that for you.
Yes, I think I do.
And then there's also fibers and dander, you know, animal related and fiber. You know, it's amazing that probably the number one thing that we notice, besides, you know, some higher levels of mold count, would be dander. You know, it's probably most
yes, because people have pets and those kinds of things.
Yeah, and you know, believe it or not, we shed our skin, and the skin's up in the ductwork, and if we have those moist conditions, it becomes a food source for bacteria and mold.
Well, you have been a wealth of knowledge today. Some of it's a little scary, but we need to get it cleaned up. So if people need to get their house, their ductwork cleaned up, how do they find you?
Well, we on our website, Superior Heating and Air or Healthy Environments. We also have the I think we're on Facebook. Those types of ways to reach
Lots of ways
us.
to find you. Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to hear what's next, I think, when you come back. So we'll see you again. And thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah.